Hey everybody, welcome to the morning drive. I'm Adam Hernandez. Again, this is one of those shows where we have the most trouble doing it on a consistent basis, so I apologize for that. Anyways, the Olympics, they are in full force right now in Pyeongchang, and I know that it seems like the cool thing to do nowadays is hate on the Olympics, which I don't understand. Yes, I know these events, the majority of the people watching them don't watch those sports on a consistent basis. Like, who watches figure skating all year long? Who pays attention to figure skating all year long? Or luge, or bobsled, or skiing to any capacity? Some of them may. I know there's some X Games fans out there that probably pay attention to snowboarding more throughout the year than every 4 years when the Winter Olympics comes around. Same thing with obviously hockey. Hockey is something that people obviously pay attention to more so than more so throughout the year than certainly a lot of the other sports in the Olympics right now. But that's not what today's show is about. What today's show is about is the absurdity surrounding the IOC. I know the IOC is one of those organizations, one of those sporting organizations, those governing bodies that come under a lot of fire from critics around the world, and deservedly so too, because the IOC is a dirty organization, much like FIFA is, much like the NCAA is in the United States, to many aspects, the NFL, and so on and so forth. It seems like that's commonplace with these governing bodies in the sports world. The IOC, though, is following a trend, though, that is very, very common amongst these governing bodies, and that's appearing to take a strong stand against a team or an athlete or a group of athletes, like we have in this case, for gross violations. And what I'm talking about is Russia in the doping allegations, which aren't even allegations anymore. It's proven fact that Russia was participating in doping to a high degree, and not only was it their athletes doing this, but it went all the way to the top, it seemed, with the Russian government partaking in hiding and supplying, whatever it was to help their athletes dope. And the IOC found this out, investigations were launched, and again, these aren't allegations, this is proven fact that there was widespread state-sponsored doping going on with Russian athletes. So the IOC appeared to take strong measure with this. They appeared to have strong reaction. They ended up banning Russia from the Olympics. Except that's not what happened. We still see Russian athletes still able to participate in the Olympics under the concept that, oh, well, they can still compete, but instead of competing as under the Russian flag, you're going to be your own individual. You're going to be your own athlete. You will be known as Olympic athletes from Russia, which, again, if you're going to ban Russia from the Olympics, you either ban the athletes or you don't. And yes, this sucks that some of these athletes ruined it for everybody else. And unfortunately, that's the case, though, when it comes to something like this. To me, the absurdity of all of this is just as bad as when the NCAA will punish a program by taking wins away. Everybody knows that in the NCAA, when a program has wins vacated because of because of NCAA violations, that everybody knows that those teams still won those games. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No, everybody knows those teams won those games. Just like when they vacated Paterno's wins for his part in the Sandusky cover-up, everybody knows that Joe Paterno still won those games. Just like everybody knows that these Russian athletes are still competing for Russia. They're not competing for themselves. So what? They don't hear the Russian national anthem when they win a medal. They don't see the Russian flag up there when they stand on the podium during the medal ceremonies. To me, this is another lazy attempt, another half-ass attempt for the IOC to appear to be tough in all of this, but cave under the pressure of a big-time country not participating in the Olympics. Now, imagine if Georgia or some smaller country like Malta or something like that was accused and convicted of widespread state-sponsored doping allegations. Would the IOC let these athletes go and compete in the Olympics under some absurd concept that, oh yeah, well, you will be Olympic athletes from Malta or Olympic athletes from Georgia? No, the IOC would probably ban them in their entirety from entering the Olympics under any banner that relates to their specific country. Now, the IOC is very loose in the sense when it comes to being able to participate in the Olympics in general. What I mean by that is you still have athletes competing for countries under, like I mentioned, the loosest terms. For instance, there's a athlete, competing for Mexico who is American, but her only connection to Mexico is her husband is of Mexican descent. Which, if that's what you want to do, fine. And I'm sure even if there was if you banned Russia altogether, if you banned the athletes even competing in the Olympics under the concept of, oh, well, they're competing under the banner of Olympic athletes from Russia, they would still probably find some other loophole in all of this to compete for some other country. They may have a spouse that is from Great Britain, or they may have a grandma who's from France, or a second cousin who has a friend that's from the United States. That's probably what we would see in all of this. To me, though, I just hate how the IOC continues to half-ass all of these things, continues to try to put on some masquerade that they have integrity, or that they're trying to do the right thing in all of this, because they're not. Anyways, though, that's going to do it this week. Hopefully we'll be back again next week for another edition of The Morning Drive. Check us out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheMajorsTV. But anyways, you can also find me on Twitter at TMSNXAdam. And then, like always, check out our website at themajors.net. So, until next time, everybody, I'm Adam Hernandez. Have a good rest of the week and a good weekend.